as director of the US Secret Service.
Well, that was Nomia Iqbal. Let's get more reaction. Let's speak to Barry Donadio, who's a former Secret Service agent. Barry, welcome here to the programme. Your reaction to that news coming out of Washington?
Well, I was a little bit surprised. I thought that she would try to stay on. She did go through a lot at the congressional hearings from both sides of the aisle. I know Congress was very upset not getting answers right away. In her defense, I would say that there's only so much she could say right now because there is a full scope investigation going on. You have the FBI looking into it and many other agencies just to try to piece together what exactly happened and where we may have failed. She did admit the Secret Service did fail in a part there catastrophically. But we want to see the other elements of what brought it to this failure. I will say, though, as I've always said since day one, that those agents, officers, and technicians that did jump on the president and get him out of there certainly did everything that they were supposed to do.
Sure, and I think across the board there's been a lot of acceptance of that. The critical questions aren't to do with that. They're about how this whole area was secured or not secured, everything that ran up to those moments when shots were fired. In terms of the evidence that you heard yesterday, what seemed to frustrate so many lawmakers was so many days on not having some basic answers to basic questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and I'm sure even people in the Secret Service are wondering the answer to as well. So it is going to remain a mystery, almost like a plane crash. We want answers right away. We're just not going to get solid, concrete, factual answers until the investigation comes to a close and we uncover more. For instance, now we're learning that there was explosives involved. That's something we didn't know just a few days ago. So this is really snowballing into something what we didn't really imagine originally. So we're going to have to wait and see what's happening with this. Now, I can tell you, a building that is 130 yards away may not necessarily be in the security zone where people are getting magnetometered. And based on what the director said, that, Counter Sniper would be addressing that building with an overwatch, keeping an eye on that building, as well as other local forces, maybe state police or local police that would be assigned to hold the ground, if you will, and deny an opponent that. So I don't know what happened there. And we're hearing some other, testimony, if you will, or other accounts of maybe the police had him under surveillance prior. There seems to be, at the early look of this, like there was a breakdown in communication. And that is an epidemic in the police field when it comes to tactical operations and getting information to command and even to the intelligence of a police agency. This is nothing new. Communication is always an issue. And then when shots are fired, you could just imagine communication becomes even more difficult.
Here's the thing, and a twin final thought. Do you think, given the enormity of the security failings, she actually should have just been fired straight away, not to wait a number of days before we got a resignation after that congressional hearing? And secondly, given we're only months away from a president election, and given all the sort of things you were alluding to there, they need to get a replacement in situ pretty quickly and to actually get over some of these basic problems, don't they?
Yeah. Me personally, I don't believe in firing somebody unless you have all the facts in front of you. After all, if you fire somebody and then you realize it really, she's the head, she's accountable, but it may not be the fault of her personally. So that's where I stand on that. Now, the Secret Service is going to appoint somebody, probably already have, they just haven't announced it. And that's, if I were to guess, it's going to be a strong leader that's going to immediately look at what facts are available right now and begin to make changes on how they could prevent this from ever happening again.
Barry, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much. As you were speaking,